This is Elliot Wave Sage. I want to go ahead and go through some trade setups going into the week. I believe we'll get some movement in the market. We're already seeing that in Bitcoin. And when you have movement, you have opportunity. And this isn't financial advice. Always do what's best for you. Use this for your education and entertainment purposes. And these trades I may take, I may not take. If I take them, I may leave them, I may sell them. You never know. So you got to make your own decision and do what's best for you. But I do just want to point out what's going, the market, because the market at a big picture level is kind of irrelevant to a trader. So it's irrelevant to say, oh, is the market going to go, crash or lower? Now, wouldn't this look beautiful, right? To have it do just something just like that. If this something like this happened, the world would be a very different place than we live in right now. And can we eliminate this possibility? No, you can't eliminate it, but you also can't eliminate what I call the moon boy possibility. The moon boy possibility, and this is proposed maybe by very very few, if any, traders. Will propose the moon boy, which is a 1-2-1-2 that's already finished, and then we just go euphoric, and you go euphoric, right? Can I eliminate that possibility? No, right? I mean, right? The market can do a lot of things we don't expect it to do, and that would be the triple Qs to 900, probably hit 1,000. Imagine what the individual stocks would be like. And of course, this would take another 10 to 15 years to play out. At least that's what we think it would. So, what if you're short in here and you get Moonboy? Then you'll be left behind in the dust. So, what you got to do is hedge your shorts. You hedge your shorts, and I've been saying that throughout this melt up as we came down. Hedge your shorts. So we're going to get a sell-off more than likely. Now we may not, but I think we will, and that will be an opportunity to, hedge your shorts. Or if you believe in Moonboy, you can go long and get an entry. So that's just this is what this is all about. Right now, this is the best set. The risk reward is short here, short, and there's a lot of indicators to show you why, but I'm showing you what are the bullish setups in the market. Where could I want to buy the dip, and then still keep my bearish overall forecast, in the back of my mind, but I still have some upside in case we decide to pump, and then you could dump shorts or whatever you want to do if it turns to be Moonboy. If it's Moonboy, we'll get a massive acceleration. We almost started to see that, but it's obviously slowed down the last week or two. So that's not happening. So you have these massive peaks in tech, and you can see the RSI on the monthly never even broke, down into this bearish area. So you would want to see an acceleration up. Let's look at the quarterly chart here. Now, what's interesting is the quarterly has crossover. The last time we had crossover was at a major low, right around here on that wave 2 here. So you got to scratch your head and wonder, could this turn out to be Moonboy? The quarterly stochastic is pretty much reset here, right? Just like it was here. So you have to consider that. Again, this is big picture. This is big picture talk here that I'm trying to explain and trying to go through. But in the short term, you see how the monthly's coming up. It's finishing up. It's clearly overbought on the monthly, on the weekly. It needs a really good correction. But what I'm trying to say here is, yes, this is the end of the grand super cycle, the correction I show here. But what if, just what if, right? What if Moonboy is right and this count changes just slightly, and we still get a massive bearish reversal here, right? We still get a massive bearish reversal, right? But then we get something, more, let's say we get this finished here, so there's 5. But what if we get something like this? So I want everyone to keep an open mind. You could still get a massive pullback here, but respect this low. And the quarterly is telling me that I need to be thinking about this as we're down here in this area when that time comes. And that time is going to come. This area is going to come. So I need to think about this. It may be a little more aggressive. Now, would I do it here? No. I want it deeper, but this area, down in this area where I'm circling, which would probably be the 618 of that move, I really want to try to keep an open mind to that other possibility. And of course, we'll look at where other stocks are trading at that point. But for right now, it seems to me you have a 3-wave cycle that's ended here. Ended or about to end any day, and but then you should get a pullback. Now the other alternative on technology is this 1, 2, and again 3, 4, 5. I mean, if we get an impulse, then that's a pretty obvious sign that yes, we'll pull back, but that would be a buyable dip, and then that would get another swing higher. And then you have to understand that this whatever this ends up being, a connector, will go on much longer than we're expecting. So this is a 4 and a 5, right? See if we'll get that. Now, if we don't get that and we just get a pullback down, I want to see it down here, and then I could say, well, could this be a 1, 2, 1, 2 setup? And again, if you look here, that's really 3 waves. So I would be really forcing it, because this isn't even really 5 waves up here. It's really 3 waves in my mind. So again, it's a forced, but I'm just trying to give you a different perspective on things. And so then, so what do you do here? So here is short opportunities, a lot of short opportunities for a sell-off, and then decision time. Now, there's a lot of short opportunities, but as we've seen here and here and here, and by the way, this box was a long I took. I said not to short anywhere in here, but I took a long, and yeah, got out here, and it looks like that was a mistake. But who would have known it would have kept going, right? So what maybe this does the same thing, comes back down and just keeps going. And then the moon boy plays out, and all hell breaks loose, and we crash upward for the final blow off top in the grand super cycle, a pump of all ages, which nobody obviously expects. But I've always learned to always think about every possibility. But now that's why even on a small pullback, I want to have some long positions to short. If I'm shorting here, long positions to be able to play a random pump like this again, if that were to happen. So what am I looking for? I want to stay with tech. I don't like the SPY. I don't like the Dow Jones. I don't like the IWM. So I'll stay with tech because that's what's working right now. So I'd be looking for, what can I buy the dip in tech, right? Where is it by the dip? So we'll go through technology and look at some of these stocks. I don't like AI at the moment because the setup isn't clear. Now, if we were to dip in 3 down, here you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have 5 up here. So if you could dip down, then you could maybe say it was an A, B, C, and you could try to buy that at 28, around there. So that's something to keep an eye on. So here's the setup. Here would be 26 in this area. So that's one. Tesla. What I would look for, there's no setup. If it pulls back, I wouldn't go near it. What I don't like about this, look at this extended fifth wave. Extended fifth wave. I really don't like it. Um, there's your RSI peak right there. You see that? So I don't like this extended fifth. It could actually come all the way back to 174. So I would wait and I wouldn't touch it. So I would just sidelines. Apple, uh, the buy the dip opportunity again. I don't is at this 174 169 area. If this is the end MB wave where it's going to go down to 100, where it's the end, it's game over. Then what we would want to see coming out of this is a 1-2, and you want to see 3 blow through 169. Then you know it's over, right? But it looks pretty likely that Apple is coming down here, and then you could try to hedge shorts by going long Apple to see what happens. Netflix, again, I look at this. I want to see it come up to 500. So if it pulls back, it could be an opportunity. But right here, it's nothing. It's like Tesla. It's nothing out there. And then AMD, I like dip 113, 104. Again, this is a 3-wave move. So this could be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then go down to 76. So this is, again, you're just hedging. Now, if this is a top and we're going to break 55 and new lows, then we'll blow through and we'll overlap 101. We'll blow through 100. So these are just ideas. And of course, NVIDIA, I do believe, is coming through 351, 323. Wolf came up in 5. It's already started higher. My guess is it's a flat in the making and could create opportunity here at 45, 41. Amazon, it looks finished here in all the cycle. So the Amazon XLY sector would be important to continue higher. So if it does, it will form a connector and come up and retest the highs. But right here, it's really nothing. So there's no dip buy. Google, there's obviously no dip buy. Microsoft, there could be a dip buy in Microsoft coming up this weekend. See, a lot of people don't even know these are already off their highs. See, they're already putting pressure on the market. And people don't even realize it. So here, 314, 304, Microsoft, and then we'll see what happens. Facebook, same thing, 250, 239. Adobe, no setup, nothing's there. Disney, don't like it. It's obviously in a massive bearish top on its grand super cycle, and you have a lower low sequence here with a 5-wave move and a connector. So even if it were to bounce, it's just playing games in B wave. Eventually, it will fail and go lower, and then it could be a buy. So nothing there. Shopify, I do like on a dip buy down at 54.48. It again, I haven't decided which ones I'll take. This one is probably one I will take because it thinks to me it shows 5 clear swings up. It looks like it'll have another rally up. Like anything's possible. I could have the count could be wrong. It could still be like an A, B, C, and go, but stop loss at 48. I do like Etsy, and in fact, Etsy's in a buy area right now. And as long as it's actually ABC, I'll call it ABC, but it doesn't matter. As long as 66 holds, then this move is ready to go. I don't see a catalyst coming up to really pump it, but do what's best for you. Mercado Libre hit the sell area, and it got almost to the area. And again, if it were to come up, it will extend this connector higher. Don't like it, nothing there. Wayfair, nothing there. Affirm, And if you noticed, everything has come out of our sell area, our buy areas there and there. If you watch my videos, Chewy looks like we've got 5 up here, and then this is part of the correction. So that correction could be done right there, and we could be pulling back. Yeah, see, we already made a high with divergence. So my guess is Chewy is a good buy here, dip buy opportunity. I would say we have a 1, 2, a 3, a 4, and a 5 is done. And now we're pulling back in 3 waves. Down there. So that dip buy would be around 35.96 to 34.23. That one is another one I'd probably take if I can get it. Just looking at it, it looks like it needs another swing up because you have 5 up here. You have a 1, and now you have a 2, right? And then you also have a 1 and a 2. But do what's best for you. I could be wrong. Chewy. Trade desk, I don't really like it. It never really has had any significant capitulation that I've seen. I look at this and I look at 3, 3, 3 for a massive W, but then you broke the low here. You broke it, so it screws up this this whole sequence. I don't like that. And then you have a connector that's just been overtaken. So again, it looks like 3 here, and it hit the sell area where I would have expected it to sell off. So I would be careful in this ad tech space, but you know, people are starting to fall in love with Trade Desk. And if you look here, it doesn't really look like 5 waves up here or here. So I'd be really careful. And so I don't like it. I stay away from that one. Magnite I do like. And this has been good for day trading, trading ABC. It's behaving exactly as expected. 5 is done. It looks like to me, or possibly one more high, and then we should get a healthy pullback. That's a buyable dip, but there's no like good setup. I was looking at PayPal the other day. I don't really like it at the moment. I don't believe in that. It's probably a massive flat correction, something like that. And this is an end in diagonal right here. So is the move almost over? Yes, I do think, you know, at some point this is going to come to an end. It just hasn't materialized yet. So I would just, there's really no way to know when it will end. So if you really, you know, or believe in it, then you need to just dollar cost average in on that. And Square, to me, needs lower. So I don't like the fintech. Snap, I don't believe in Snap, but if you want to trade Snap, we showed this here, 5 up. We showed the bounce, and we got it. It's probably going to continue to meander around in 1-2s until news comes out. But now you do got to respect this. This is like a flag. So, but this 5 sequence should produce another swing higher, at least for traders. But I don't really like anything there. Roku is starting to get a lot of FOMO on TV, which is hilarious because nobody wanted to buy it back in this area where I had the buy area. So now you have a three-wave pullback, and now you have another three waves up, which is done. So you have three, three, and I believe it will now correct. And this is a 1, 2. And this will be a good opportunity to buy later, and it's probably going to revisit this area. And you can see these candles are pretty tough candles right there. So we'll see. Now if it could produce an impulse out of that with a new high, then it's a 1, 2, 1, 2. And it'll be a must buy. Dash, I was looking at Dash. It looks like a bear flag here. And we're in the E wave of the flag. Should come to an end soon. I'd be careful in Dash. I don't think it's a 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. I just don't think it's that. I may need to look at this closer. There is because of the divergences. I was just looking at. Let's look at the 4-hour on Dash. There's none there. You have some here. You have some there. So perhaps you have 5 here. Like that, and then you correct it, and then here you have 5 in the make-in, and you'll correct again. So I would, if it could drop around to 62 in this area, I would try to play that into earnings in August. So keep an eye on that one. It's very speculative. It could totally backfire on me. But again, risk reward potential. If it's a 1, 2, 1, 2, then Dash could have one of these 30, 40% on earnings moves in its back pocket. But I would like to see this pullback and get in here, not get in here, or up at the 70s. I'd like to get it down here. Zoom has been struggling. So we do need to respect that this could be an end in diagonal and not an impulse. Now it's a massive impulse down here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And maybe it's a flat, A, B, C. So if I look at this, yeah, it's definitely not, it doesn't look like an end in diagonal look. I don't like I don't like it. Airbnb, I do like it down at 90 in this area if it can get there. DocuSign was getting a lot of FOMO pumping. So here you have 5 up. Here you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 swings down. So yeah, so this correction needs to come lower. Yes, you should have 3, 3, 3. So my guess is it's gonna break 46, and it could be a buy against 39. And I don't like Teladoc. We haven't looked at this in a long time. No one asks me about it anymore. But here's your C wave down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, maybe it's finished. Let's see how we came off the bottom. No divergence. So still dangerous. I wouldn't trade it without having 5 up, and I don't see that. So I would be careful. It could be still in a 1, 2. Zimmer, even though it's tempting, I believe once it breaks its IPO low, it could go a lot lower, and it's just a broken chart now. Unfortunately, and if we're in C like this count shows, then this is just 1, 2, which means wave 3 is coming. which is going to bring it down much lower. Now, when this count finishes out, maybe I'll take a piece of it later. Right, but not now. Twillo, much more bullish than we expected, although no divergence, which means it's only a reactive move, which is not good. If it needs to take this high out with divergence, and that doesn't have divergence, so it's 3, 3, 3. So it's really tough to trade. I wouldn't trade that. Now DraftKings, I'm still calling for this flat down, and this is a great opportunity for long position at 21. 21. I will more than likely take a piece of DraftKings when it's down here in this area. 21, if it can get there. I don't like snow, although I mean the company is interested in what they do. It could still be a 4 here and a 1-2, but I do think it needs to go lower. I don't like it. Datadog, someone was asking me about this Datadog. I'm okay with saying it's the bottom is in on this. I don't even know what these guys do. I mean, yeah, this is so this is clear 5 waves up, right? So that's the first sign to know that it's a time to buy the dip. So you have 5 up, and then you had this it's like 3 waves down here. So that's your 1-2. So seems to be more bullish than most of the non-mega cap stocks. Let's see. Okay, so there's no divergence, so we'll call the 4 here. So could it be a flat, an A, B, C? Doubt it, but I do think it's going to trade sideways for a while here, something like that, and then pull back, and then be buyable again. Unless, again, you believe in Moon Boy, and it's a 1-2, 1-2, and it goes through, goes crazy high. But I'm not following the company to see if it has news. In this 4, it could still come down. So I think it's a tradable bounce here. It's tradable for wave 5 if it can come down to 87, 80 bucks. So this is another good opportunity. And you'll have overlap, so that would make it another 1-2. So I would actually like that trade if I can get it, because then you would have to call this a 1-2 at that point. So it looks like that's where it's going, and then we'll have to call it like this with a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, and a 3 and a 3. So Datadog is another one. I don't like that. Vuzi is stuck at this downtrend line in a wave 2, and it trades with the Russell mostly. So if the Russell is not what I'm not looking at trades for the Russell. So this is where the meme stocks come in. So I don't like trading those Russell stocks. But do what's best for you. I could be wrong, but if we do break this high at 6, then more than likely the bottom's in here, and it's going to go up to 10 in this other area I have. So keep an eye on it. We'll see. It really depends on the Russell. Palantir is, again, another stock. There's a lot of FOMO in it right now. A lot of FOMO, and I mentioned this was still going to go higher, and it did. It didn't disappoint in that prediction. The 5 extended to the moon, and now it's should be done. This correction. So let's take a look at a higher time frame. You have 3, 3, and let's take a look. Is this 5 up or 3 up? We'll need to go to the daily time frame. And as you can see, it's really just 3 up. So I would, again, this count is still valid, and and I would be careful getting too comfortable in it. Now, if it could pull back and make another high, then the low is in here. Right there's the low. That would be the low. And I would so I think it's not really something I would trade my personally. I do like Okta here at 61.55. It does look like it is found the bottom. It's just correcting, and we'll make this inverse head and shoulder, kind of pattern. Spotify. I haven't looked at Spotify in a while. Let's take a look. So you have that divergent bottom in this bottom. So it could still be a flat. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's just assume that's the low. And if that's the case, you have divergence. So you're impulsive off the low. So yeah, pullback is a buyable dip. Spotify is a buyable dip on a pullback. Workday hit the sell area in the three-wave reaction, and it got dumped. If it could take the high, it will negate this, and then it will open up again. It was a flat, but don't like it. Sonos, don't like that. This one it got. This one was not a good one to short, but it actually did produce a drop. But then you would have been stopped out if you didn't take profit. Again, this is another one, a FOMO one, and there's no divergence, so it's probably just still in B. I still have it coming down unless it could pull back and make a new high. DNA is doing great, but it trades with the Russell, as you know. We'll wait and see where it ends up. It's showing divergence, so it looks like this was a major low here. And so it's now, if it can come back to 150, it's a viable dip. Viva, don't like it. Robinhood, I am seeing 5 up, and I'm seeing, I like Robinhood. I like Robinhood. It's somewhere in this two wave still, as long as it can hold 760. Oh wow, that's a good low right there. Look at that capitulation. So yeah, I would say Robinhood looks good. Well, as long as it's above 821. Okay, guys. So this structure looks. It's probably 1, 2. Let's see. Yeah, that's a cycle. Tough to say what that is, but Robinhood is going to be very interesting to see what happens, and it makes sense if we're going to get more upside in tech and we get pump in action. Everyone's going to start picking up their Robinhood apps, and they're going to start clicking away, especially if crypto bounces like I think it could. Very interesting chart. Robinhood is very interesting chart here, with 5 here and 5 here. As long as you're really above 749, wouldn't that be something? We'll see what happens here in Robinhood. And then I don't like any of these until the Russell gives me more confidence. The green stocks, end phase starting to come lower. If oil goes down, this should drop and finish its correction. And then same thing with First Solar. These will be good buys in this area. And then, of course, ARK-K, and it will more or less track Russell, I think. And again, if the Russell finishes its dump, ARK-K should come down to 17. If it doesn't, and if ARK-K breaks 45, 42, then that would be a sign that the Russell is going to go higher, and that would be a good opportunity to take the trade to go long IWM, and then go look aggressively at small caps when this if this can break if they can break 45.58, but it hasn't been able to yet. And then again, China, I still want to see it lower. It does look obvious now that PDD has hit a bottom, and we had this call here. It's been really confusing. A lot of traders are confused. I do think it pulls back, and then it's pretty much could be the last opportunity to get long this stock, and that's very viable. Baidu is kind of in the same way. Had the buy here, 1, 2, 1. It looks like it'll pull back. So it looks like China is getting stronger. And then, of course, NEO, it wasn't able to get out of this. So this could still be 1, 2. It could still come down to 6, $5. Great opportunity. KWeb did hit the buy area, bounced. And then, if it can make another high, it looks like it's about to, then when China pulls back, this will just pull back and this will take off. So this will also be really interesting to see what happens, or if we break this low, because now you have a connector and that will go, we should then go retest that. That would be pretty bearish for the market. So we really have to see how this sell-off goes if we get it. So again, going back to this market, Bitcoin is something that I like to be aggressive in buying the dip. When we get down into this area here, I'm showing you. I mean, it is a lot of people are calling, oh, it's going to 8,000. Not a lot, but there are people that like the bearish people are really that bearish. I mean, I'm bearish, guys, but I will be buying the dip in crypto based on what I'm seeing in the charts. Even though I can make a technical case that this is a connector that's ready to, have a massive crash, but I can also change it very easily and say this is 5 up, and this will be an ABC swing, and we'll hit 40,000. So I gotta keep an open mind, and I do want to get a piece of that pump. So I am going to look to buy this dip with a stop loss. I already mentioned I like Link in this end in diagonal that's finishing up here, and wave 5. Dogecoin, if it can hold this low, it's good. If it doesn't, it's in a lot of trouble. Litecoin should be heading lower. I do like the crypto stocks equivalent. I do like these stocks that they pull back. So here's some pullback levels. So BT would be the level would be at 211, $1.55. ETH $7, $5, 7, $6. GBTC is close, $12 probably, low 13s. If you get a real good panic, maybe it can hit 11. I wouldn't go near Coinbase or MicroStrategy. I don't like their charts. LTCN possibly down in the twos, high twos. Let's see. Hut here. It looks like 5 up, 3. Wouldn't mess with it. Mara. I like Mara down at 630. Hive. It's again 3. I'm not messing with Hive. I'm not messing with MicroStrategy. Riot, I like it at 862. 760. And then one thing you guys need to keep in mind with one thing you need to keep in mind with this altcoins and Bitcoin is where we are in the cycle. So, the altcoin cycle here, how the best way for me to explain this, guys, is if I go to Bitcoin's longer term chart here, okay, clearly this whole move is over. One, the whole thing. The RSI broke, right? It corrected the whole thing. The grand super cycle in Bitcoin, to me, is in the correction now. Could that be done here? So what I'm trying to say is, if this is gonna pump, this will be wave three. Wave threes are more spectacular typically than wave ones. And in crypto, wave fives even tend to be better than wave threes. And so if this is a wave one and this is a wave two, and what if it's finished, right? What if this pump could really take people's breath away and be something similar to this, which also means the alt season, we all remember the alt season that happened here, will also be in a wave three super cycle alt season. It seems like almost too good to believe, but I'm just telling you what the Elliott wave theory would suggest if this correction is over and we are going into a three of a grand super cycle. This is just the primary cycle three. A grand super cycle three would be something very similar to this, but on steroids. So what if we're pulling back now? What if we come back and retest these lows? What if we're here, retesting the low? And then we get, and then you're like, oh, it's going to 8,000, and then you miss that in the future. That can happen. But it may not be as deep because it's a wave three. So what if the pullback is shallow and then it does moon? So that's why I want to be a little aggressive with crypto, because I got to recognize where we are in the bigger picture, and I want to understand that and go from there. But I will have to take, I have to risk what I can afford to lose, because that's how crypto is. But I do like to risk it. This wave one was nice, and I wrote that in my videos. I told you the target, the 30,000. I was right around here when we took this high out. I put a special video out that was like, get long now. And then the target was 30,000. And what did we do? We had 30,000 and we dumped. Now I'm saying this is the target, and you may not, if you miss this, and it is a three super cycle, you may be really sad. So I'm just telling you what I'm seeing. So this is a buyable area, and this area I'm circling. But if we get this further dump, it could still be buyable. But I do think that you have to define your risk. But I do want to be aggressive. I'm going to be aggressive, and maybe it's stupid, but hey, what a way to hedge my shorts, because if the market pumps, Bitcoin will eventually follow through, as the dollar will eventually go weak. So this is just some things I'm thinking about right now, and that's what I'm thinking about. Do what's best for you, and always, we'll see. No one knows the future, but I do think these cycles are interesting, because if we do get a wave three, if wave three happens in the next cycle, and again, this cycle here is 21, so this took from 09, all the way back, to 21, so it's like 12 years or so, 11 years. So in 11 years from now, we'll have the similar up and down and up and down, and then like moon, right? By what's 11 years from 23, so maybe somewhere around, or 22, 20, so it's like 2035, the next massive cycle peak hits. So that would be massive weakness of the dollar and commodities pumping, and I mean, that's what I'm thinking. It's inflationary, right? It's probably why this will pump. But I mean, I doubt the indices will do something similar, but what do I know? But I think right now, I just, I look at crypto, and again, you still got to respect this connector could be done, right? And it could still take this dump to 10 or 9,000 and tag this long-term trend line. But I do want to play the bounce just in case that this doesn't happen, and then this thing goes to its next target, which I think is close to 40K. If that, let's say it bounces here, we'd be looking at 42, 45K, somewhere in this area. So that's the new target area. More than likely, it would hit up here, and the alts would really get going. A lot of money to be made. So just think about that as your trade-in risk reward setup. This is something to think about, because if 2 is done here, then this will just keep going up and up and up. If it's not done, well, we'll either get stopped out, or we'll bounce and come back lower and stop out later, or we'll see. But very interesting time in Bitcoin to see where this is going to go. Anyway, okay, that's my video. I just went through some things, and we'll see what happens this week.